Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. We are officially back for 2025. We did take a bit of a hiatus at the end of 2024 and a little bit of 2025, but we are now back. And of course, we are back to talk boxing. Now, during that small hiatus, there was some news that dropped. Terence Crawford supposedly is in the early stages of negotiations with Canelo Alvarez, which I have to be honest would be a bit surprising for me, considering the fact that Canelo Alvarez doesn't have a whole lot to gain in defeating Terence Crawford. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Crawford. He is an excellent fighter, and I have him as the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. I've had him as the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the sport for quite some time. But he is a smaller fighter moving up, and Canelo, if he beats him, which Canelo firmly believes he will beat him, that he won't get much credit for defeating him. So the only other thing for him to be able to get out of this particular fight is a bag, an amazing bag, a bag that he wouldn't otherwise be able to attain without fighting Terence Crawford. And at the end of the day, that's where I would say Turkey Al-Sheikh has to come into play, because he can make the same amount of money fighting any fighter relative to Terence Crawford, because Crawford doesn't bring a whole lot to the table in terms of eyeballs. So it has to be Turkey Al-Sheikh, and Turkey Al-Sheikh has to come to the table with an amazing bag. Now, one of the things that I found to be very interesting over the last few days, I've seen it across Twitter, I've seen it in the Discord, also saw it this past Sunday, because we do our live stream Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard every Sunday. So make sure you come check us out. We have a live panel, we have a call in, and we have a great time there. But there are so many people that just feel that Terence Crawford has the ability to simply outbox Canelo Alvarez, which I find to be amazing. As a matter of fact, I want to use this as a reference point, but shout out to Mill City. I saw that he had the great Buddy McGirt on his platform here recently in two separate videos, and I thought this was very interesting. He also believes that Terence Crawford has the ability to stay on the outside and simply outbox Canelo Alvarez. Now, to Buddy McGirt's credit, he did not say it was going to be easy. As a matter of fact, he made sure to say that it wouldn't be easy for Terence Crawford to execute that type of game plan against Canelo Alvarez. Said he's a great fighter, but he firmly believed that Terence Crawford would win that fight. Now, a few days earlier, he also said that Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez would be quote unquote fight of the century. So how is it possible that Canelo Alvarez, at the skill level that he's at, would be a part of a fight that would be the fight of the century at 168, but yet a welterweight can move up and simply outbox him from the outside? It makes absolutely no sense to me. And I think there's a combination of different things that are going on in people's mind when they think about Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. The first of which is the way that Floyd Mayweather was able to outbox Canelo Alvarez. And I think a lot of people feel that Terence Crawford is in the same stratosphere, echelon, whatever word you want to use, in regards to his skill set and Floyd Mayweather's skill set, which is fine. If that's what you believe, that's perfectly fine. You can believe that. But Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather have completely different skill sets. They could be at the same level, but skill sets and styles play a big part in the outcome of fights. And so it's so amazing to me when I see so many people reference Floyd Mayweather in regards to Terence Crawford and what he can do in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. That triangle theory has never worked in boxing, yet so many continue to try to do that. Now, I think the other, I would say aspect, maybe two other aspects. Number one, I think there's personal affiliations, right? Whether that's through how if someone is from your culture, your environment, whatever you want to call it, there's an affinity for a specific type of style and just a belief that type of style would be beneficial or it would be favorable to a specific fighter. And then you have situations where people have personal allegiances, right? So they have an affiliation, they have a personal relationship with a specific fighter, and that is a reason for some of the statements that are being made. Specifically, Tim Bradley. Shout out to Tim Bradley. He's been on the platform before. He said also that he believes that Terence Crawford would outbox Canelo Alvarez. Hopefully we'll see. And then I think the third thing is his performance against Errol Spence. Errol Spence, great fighter, stylistically didn't match up that well with Terence Crawford. I think maybe there's some other things that were going on there. We're not going to get into that. But at the end of the day, Just because you were able to perform in one way against one fighter doesn't mean that you'll be able to perform in that same manner versus another fighter. So I think it's a combination of all these things that have led so many people to believe that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. I mean, the way people are talking, he should be the favorite, right? I mean, moving up, I hear everybody saying that he'll be able to outbox Canelo Alvarez from the outside. But I want to ask you guys this question. How many times have we seen Canelo Alvarez, somebody be able to just simply keep him on the outside? We've seen him outbox, but we've never seen someone just simply keep him on the outside. So using Floyd as an example, Floyd, it didn't matter what the range was. Floyd, you cannot hit. So Floyd could be on the outside. He has the defense to avoid punches, and he goes from defense to offense very quickly. Not only that, even if you were within range of Floyd, Floyd has the defensive ability to get out of the way of shots. That is not Terence Crawford. If you look at Bivol was somebody that was able to keep him on the outside, and then when he did get on the inside, Bivol tied him up, reset, so he can get him back on the outside. Bivol was a bigger fighter, a strong fighter. That's not Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is not going to be the natural bigger man going into this fight. We haven't seen Canelo simply outbox where an opponent was able to just keep him on the outside. That has never happened. So the fact that we hear this from the Tim Bradleys of the world, and just the general fight fans and the Buddy McGirts of the world, those things just they don't compute for me. They don't make sense to me. Something's not aligned. Something's not quite right in the logic. Now, is it possible that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez? I guess. I mean, it's boxing. Anything can happen, and all you need is a well-timed punch, and that punch be well placed, and a fight can be over like that. So will I just completely dismiss any fighter to say that fighter doesn't have a chance to win? Absolutely not. But to say that Canelo Alvarez is going into the ring and he has absolutely no advantages going into the fight when he is the naturally bigger fighter and will show up probably, I don't know, 185 pounds, 190 pounds on fight night, it's amazing to me. And Crawford is smaller, man. I mean, even at like 54 when he came into the ring, he looked much softer than he did when he fought Errol Spence the night of that fight. So interesting from my perspective. In another video, I'm going to probably reveal something that I think that Canelo Alvarez should do and should have as a stipulation going into the fight. I think it would be interesting for him. I think it would give him a large advantage going into the fight. And I'm going to put it out there. I know a lot of people are going to say that doesn't make sense, or they're going to say I'm hating. Actually, they probably won't say it doesn't make sense because most things I say make sense. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section in regards to this. I just personally feel like there's too many people that are just they're relying on this fool's goal in terms of comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. They're relying on fool's goal in what happened on July 29, 2023. And I don't believe any of those things are going to play or be at play when he ultimately gets in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, if it does happen. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast on Sports Media, and I am